We usually experience life as if the I is the center of our being. Everything seems to revolve around the sense of me. And because of that, it feels obvious that it is the I that make things happen. The I appears to be the point from which every movement begins, the one that thinks, chooses, decides, and acts. It seems to be the source of every action, and so we naturally conclude that our lives unfold because we make them unfold. But if we observe this sense of I more carefully, a different possibility begins to emerge. Perhaps the I is not the center from which life begins. Perhaps it is not the starting point of action at all. Instead, the I may simply be another step in an already unfolding process. It is not the origin of movement, it is one of its later expressions. As we discussed earlier, the sense of I or self does not exist from the very beginning of life. There is a period during infancy when life is already happening, breathing, sensing, responding, learning, yet there is no clear psychological sense of I. Life is moving long before the self appears. Only gradually, through memory, language, experience, relationships, and conditioning, does the feeling of a being separate self begin to form. In that sense, the I is an accumulation of lived experience. It is something that emerges from life rather than something that creates life. If this is true, then I is not the first point in an action, but the last visible point in a much larger movement. What appears to us as the beginning of action is actually its final expression. By the time the thought I decided appears, countless processes have already unfolded beneath conscious awareness. The understanding we identify as I is therefore a form of accumulated information. Every time we use the word I to describe a decision or initiate an action, that moment is already the outcome of previous movements, our biological makeup, our upbringing, environment, memories, learning, and the countless influences that have shaped us. This does not mean that actions do not happen, they clearly do. But the point we identify as the author of those actions may itself be the product of everything that came before it. Seen this way, the awareness associated with the I is not an independent creator making decisions from outside the process. It is another unfolding within the same process. The I is not standing apart from life, directing it. It is life becoming aware of itself in a particular form. So perhaps the I is not the beginning of movement, but its latest expression. It is not the origin of action, but the point at which an ongoing process becomes conscious enough to say, I did this.